as of right now, give or take, the market is pricing in what will be 10 rate hikes in interest rates, and that we will reach a 300 basis point interest rate by the end of the year. I don't think that you believe that that is going to happen, but you can confirm that.
I take the under, take the way under.
And so what do you think is likely to happen? Do we get 5, 3? Where do we end up as an interest rate at the end of the year?
Look, I was correct in March when I said no way 50. Lucky if he does 25. I was incorrect in May. I said no way 50, no way 75, no way 75, and no way 50. I thought maybe another 25. He did 50, surprisingly. If you put my feet to the fire pump, I'd say he's done. I think the Powell pivot is coming any day now, and there's just no way. I think he needs a couple prints on CPI to roll over. You know, as oil prices stop going up and as used car prices start to ameliorate, because that's really 75% of the CPI increase. I think if he gets 2 months of kind of flat to down, he can back off. I'll say 5 this year, you know, half as many as the market expects. And I think maybe we get to $1.25, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way. Maybe get to $1.50, maybe half and half. So 5 and $1.50.
So I'm biased in this last question because I think this is going to happen. But do you think we get an interest rate cut before the end of the year?
I do.
Yeah.
I think this fall is going to be bad.
I don't think you can go into a midterm election with any level of inflation. Would be bad. But the thing that's worse than that is a recession.
Yeah, look, you're exactly right. I mean, we know for a fact that the number one indicator of success of the president's party is gasoline prices. Number one. I mean, inverse relationship. Low gas prices, they sweep. High gas prices, they get swept out. And right now, at $7.50 in California, they're out. I mean, like they're all out. Like, if they could, they'd get rid of the president in the midterm at $7.50. I mean, just done. And then the second thing we know is that they actually can control oil prices if they can get Saudi to play ball. Mm-hmm. Now, arguably, Saudi doesn't want to play ball because they won't return his call. But if they could get Saudi to pump, they could get oil prices to roll over. That would collapse CPI. And that would get people thinking that we'd be out of the woods on a recession. But remember, recession doesn't mean back-to-back quarters of negative GDP. Okay. And that's why I think we're in 2001. 2001, first quarter was down 1.3, kind of similar to this year. Second quarter was actually positive. Third quarter was negative, exacerbated by 9/11. I'm not saying we're going to have a 9/11. And then fourth quarter was slightly positive. The year was 1%. But anything sub 1.5 is a recession. And so I think we're going to have the same kind of mild recession, barring bad decisions, right? We put up more tariffs, it gets worse. We do lockdowns, much worse. So there could be some policy errors that make it worse, but I'm with you. I think it's going to be very clear that we're in a recession. I think we're already in. And whether it turns from a garden variety recession into a depression, I'll leave you with one depressing point. In 1840, the government made a number of policy decisions that turned a garden variety recession into a depression. In the 1930s, government made 2 policy decisions, raising rates and Smoot-Hawley, that turned a garden variety recession into the Great Depression. Now we're 90 years later. There's a 90-year cycle. Go back and read about it. J.D. Gann. And I don't think it necessarily has to happen, but the picture of the ships off the ports in China actually scared me. That was actually a frightening picture because I know how close we are in just-in-time inventory and how broken the system is. And then you throw on top of that, wheat production problems and all the things you talk about in your daily newsletter. Again, don't have to have a depression, but it's not a zero probability.